Imagine waking up to a disaster so powerful that it circles nearly the entire Pacific Ocean. A chain reaction stretching 40,000 kilometers. 452 volcanoes, all erupting at the exact same moment. Sounds impossible, but what if it happened? And here's the terrifying mystery nobody talks about. The lava wouldn't be the biggest problem. The Ring of Fire is one of Earth's most dangerous regions. A massive horseshoe-shaped zone wrapping around the Pacific Ocean and cutting through 15 countries. It's responsible for roughly 90% of the planet's earthquakes. And hidden across this enormous boundary are hundreds of active volcanoes. Most people think volcanoes are isolated mountains. They're not. They're connected to something much bigger. A gigantic network of moving tectonic plates beneath our feet. Every second, these plates are shifting, grinding, colliding, sinking beneath one another, building pressure that Earth desperately wants to release. But here's the strange part. One eruption can sometimes influence another. One earthquake can trigger events hundreds of kilometers away. So what would happen if every volcano in the Ring of Fire suddenly reached its breaking point together? The answer starts beneath the surface. As oceanic plates dive into the mantle, they melt. That molten rock becomes magma. And magma has a dangerous habit. It rises. While rising, it traps gases. Pressure builds. The gases push harder and harder, until the mountain above can no longer hold it. Then comes the explosion. History has already shown how deadly a single eruption can be. Entire towns erased. Thousands killed. Mass evacuations. Now multiply that by 452. And that's when things changed. To make every volcano erupt at once, Earth would need a tectonic event almost beyond imagination. Something powerful enough to shake an entire ocean basin. Possibly even the early stages of a future supercontinent forming. And if that happened, the first signs wouldn't be volcanic. They'd be seismic. Massive earthquakes would ripple across continents. Cities would shake violently. Buildings would collapse. Roads would split apart. But that's not even the craziest part. Every coastal region around the Pacific would face another nightmare. Tsunamis. Walls of water racing across oceans at jetliner speeds. Entire shorelines could disappear within hours. Yet even those catastrophes wouldn't be the deadliest consequence. And this is where it gets weird. The true threat wouldn't come from the ground. It would come from the sky. As hundreds of volcanoes exploded simultaneously, unimaginable amounts of ash would blast high into the atmosphere. The sun would begin to fade. Daylight would weaken. Temperatures would fall. At first it might seem minor. But history tells a different story. When Mount Pinatubo erupted in 1991, global temperatures dropped measurably for years. That was one volcano. Now imagine 452. Crop failures would spread across continents. Food supplies would shrink. Prices would explode. Entire populations could face shortages. What happens next changes everything. Because the cooling wouldn't be temporary weather. It could become a global volcanic winter. And just when humanity thought things couldn't get worse, another invisible killer would arrive. Volcanic ash isn't the only thing eruptions release. They also unleash enormous amounts of toxic gases. Sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and other chemicals capable of transforming the atmosphere. As these gases spread, acid rain would begin falling across huge regions of Earth. Forests would suffer. Freshwater systems would be contaminated. Farmland would become increasingly difficult to use. But here's the strange part. The oceans would suffer too. The added acidity could damage marine ecosystems on a massive scale. Coral reefs could collapse. Food chains could break apart. Entire species could disappear. The result wouldn't be a local disaster. It would be a planetary crisis. And perhaps the most frightening detail of all, we might not see it coming. Scientists can monitor volcanoes. They can track earthquakes. But accurately predicting a giant synchronized eruption remains beyond our abilities, meaning millions could have little or no warning. Luckily, this scenario is extraordinarily unlikely. The Ring of Fire remains active, but a simultaneous eruption of every volcano is one of the most extreme events imaginable. Still, there's a lesson hidden inside this nightmare. The danger isn't growing because volcanoes are becoming more active. The danger is growing because more people are living near them. More cities, more infrastructure, more lives in harm's way. And that's not the end of the story. Because active volcanoes aren't the only threat. Some dormant volcanoes wake up unexpectedly. And in 2013, scientists uncovered something astonishing beneath Antarctica. A hidden chain of sleeping volcanoes. Waiting. Silent. Unseen. The question is, how many more are still out there?